Poor girl, she was stabbed from the front. She found out who her killer was at the very last moment. We can still hear the dial tone. She must not have had time to dial the number. Too bad. We could have had a live witness.
Bizarre. Why is there blood here? A knife stuck in his eye. Death would have been instantaneous. Bizarre. His wrists are all cut up. Looks like some kind of symbol carved on them. Snake. A snake with two heads. Did you notice this blood over here?
Yeah, I saw that. What do you think it means?
That the murderer was bleeding before he stabbed his victim. Just like in the toilets of the restaurant. Let's go. I've seen enough. What are we supposed to think about this murder? The guy committed suicide after killing the woman? It seems absurd, but it's the only explanation. I don't think Kane had anything to do with what happened at the laundrette. But, all the same, there's got to be a link between the two murders.
I had nowhere to go. I was exhausted. I felt like I was gonna die, either from the cold or from hunger. I hoped that I could rest for a couple of hours at Tiffany's place, get my energy back, and figure out what to do next. I'd only been to her new apartment once before. I only had a vague memory of exactly where it was, but I was sure that this was the street. Watching Tiffany's apartment, of course. They assumed that I'd show up here looking for a place to hide. I have to find another way in. That window leads to Tiffany's apartment. If only I could find a way to open it. I think it budged a little. It's open a few inches. I almost had it. I wasn't too proud about breaking into Tiffany's apartment like a common criminal, but I had no choice. I hadn't eaten in almost a day. I was starting to feel weak and tired.
You have one new message today at 10:41. Hello, Miss Harper. I'm Detective Carla Valenti from the New York City Police Department. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'll try calling you back a little later today.
Nothing to eat here. Nothing to eat here. Pictures in all the newspapers. I can be identified by just about anyone in the street now. I'm going to have to be very careful. Guess I'm out of danger for now. I'll wait for Tiffany to get back before I...
And for an expert's point of view on the subject, we have with us today one of the most renowned specialists on Mayan civilization, Professor Dmitry Kuryakin of the Mesoamerican University here in New York. Thanks for being with us today, Professor. You've written a fascinating book on Mayan rituals. And I wanted to ask you if...
A specialist in Mayan civilization. He'd known what Kekniklan means. Gotta meet this Professor Kuryakin.
You scared me. What are you doing here?
The police are looking for me. I needed a place to hide for a few hours.
Lucas, what happened to you? The papers are saying that you killed several people. Is it true?
The whole thing is very complicated. All I can tell you is that I am not a murderer.
I love you, Lucas. I don't want to lose you. Lucas, it's the police. What are we gonna do?
Look, I'm sure they just want to ask you a few questions. Just stay calm, Tiffany, and answer their questions. I'll hide in the apartment. Everything will be fine. You'll see. Miss Harper? Miss Harper, are you home?
Yes, just a second. I'm coming. Lucas, I can't keep them waiting anymore. I've got to open the door.
Miss Harper?
Yes?
I'm Detective Tyler Miles, NYPD. I'm working on the Lucas Kane case. I think that you two were romantically involved, isn't that right?
We're involved, yes. But we separated. We broke up about a month ago.
Have you heard from Mr. Kane recently? Has he tried to contact you?
I went by his apartment day before yesterday to pick up the last of my things. We hardly spoke. I haven't heard from him since.
Do you mind if I look around your apartment?
Well, it's just that...
Hey, I'll only be a minute.
Go ahead.